Broussard from Sweet Elizabeth Cake Designs, and I'm up next on Cakers Chat. Make sure you share this post and be sure to comment so we can interact.
Welcome to the SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo 2018. Let's get inside.
Welcome, cakers, bakers, and sweet treat makers. This is Cakers Chat.
In this episode, we chat with Holly Broussard, specialty cake designer and owner of Sweet Elizabeth's Cake Designs. She has been published in Cake Masters Magazine, Cake Central Magazine, and Southern Celebrations Magazine, as well as winning Food Network's Cake Wars. Sweet Elizabeth's Cake Designs also took home the award for Baton Rouge's Best Wedding Cake Designer by Southern Celebrations Magazine in 2016. Holly has begun to teach her designs and techniques to others in the cake industry, both online and in person. As Holly's business grows, so does her expectations for each of her cakes. Holly's mission for her business is to make a product that is absolutely unforgettable, and she has an unforgettable story about her competition piece for us today. We're here at the Cakers Chat Lounge at SoFlo, and we're here with Holly. Can you please tell me what you are doing here at SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo?
Yes, I'm doing a lot at SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo. So I actually taught a class. I taught a hanging photo booth cake class, which was really a lot of fun. I competed in the wildlife theme of the Florida everything, and that was really great. And then I also have a booth here selling edible art paint. So it's been no sleep week and lots of fun, but it's been very busy.
You look gorgeous. I mean, we're here in day 3 at the show, and you know how grueling these cake shows can be. You look fabulous. How do you maintain your look while doing all this?
I just fake it really good, I guess. I don't know.
Tell me a little bit more about your class, and how do you develop the class?
The classes are really just developed when I feel like I came up with an idea that someone else might want to also use. So I got creative license from a really sweet client of mine to make a birthday cake for her son's first birthday, and she gave me some inspiration pictures, and one of them was photo booth props. And I was like, how cool would it be to make a cake that was actually a working photo booth? So instead of making a cake that you just throw in the corner, you know, at a birthday party and your actual guests don't get to enjoy it, make a cake that your guests get to interact with. So, you know, you feel like you got your money's worth out of a cake. It's really interactive, really fun, and you get a picture of every single person that was at the event, you know, for years to come. So I figured everyone would want to know how to do that. I might be biased.
I think it's a great class, especially since it's a gravity-defying cake. All your cakes kind of have this defying type of identity, I guess. Where do you get your inspiration from?
You know, we just kind of like to think outside the box, and I like to do things that I haven't seen done before, and I just really like to do something that's interactive. I'm really into interactive cakes right now, so I'm always kind of thinking of how can I get everyone involved to where it's a cake and it's also an experience at the same time. So.
You seem so passionate about caking still. Have you been in the game, like you just entered it, or have you been in here for a while?
No, I've been in the game for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I started decorating cakes in high school. So I guess 2010, 2011-ish. And, you know, I started out grinding out just, you know, the normal everyday cakes. And when I kind of got tired of that, I transitioned to more interesting things. So that's kind of how I stay excited about it, is by coming up with new ideas and new techniques. And then when I do something like that and other people are excited about it, it makes me want to continue doing that. So.
What got you into caking in the first place? What got you bit by the cake bug?
Gosh, it seems like it was so long ago. I'm sure, I mean, it really wasn't, but I guess just Food Network in general. You know, the Food Network Challenge came on, and then Ace of Cakes came on, and I'm watching it and so interested and scoping out the background, seeing what they're using. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to try this out. And I tried it out and started to like it. And then senior year of high school, I took an art class. And I loved my art class. I just loved like creating things, and then it really just kind of snowballed from there.
That's absolutely fantastic. Do you think you've grown in the way that you design your cakes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I look back at some of the cakes that I made for my clients back in the day, and they loved it then, but looking back, I'm just like, I would crawl under a table before I gave that to somebody, you know? So it's just, you grow, and I think the biggest thing is that I always want to make my cake better than the last cake I made. So every time I make a mistake in a cake, I learn something, which is great. And then every time I make my next cake, I try to make it a little bit better than the last. So
You're kind of picky about the tools and the kind of products that you use on your cakes, is that right?
I am to an extent. You know, when I find something that I really believe in, I really stick to it. And living in Louisiana, certain things work and certain things don't. So, you know, the humidity is crazy, and I found things to work, and some things are catastrophic. So it really is just kind of all up to that.
So in Louisiana, you say that there's certain products that don't work.
Yeah.
How do you figure out what products do work? And if you would be cool enough to kind of share with us what products do work there?
Yeah, absolutely. So you just have an epic fail. You know, there are so many products out there, and you try one that works and one that might not work so well. So, for instance, on my competition piece, that was when I really kind of experimented with what worked and what didn't. And I found 3 really great products that really worked really well. On my competition piece, I had this big isomalt kind of pour, and it was semi-cakes isomalt. It worked fantastically. I glazed it with some PME spray, and it was great. Hot Hands modeling chocolate. Other modeling chocolates I've used in the past get really greasy and oily, or I make my own and it just doesn't work out. So this stuff, like, it's a dream. I'm just so excited about it. I've been telling everybody, hot hands, hot hands. So edible art paint is something I actually discovered back last year in August, and I used this paint and it was fantastic. So I contacted the manufacturer, Miranda, in Australia, and I actually have become a stockist of it. So I sell it on Etsy and I use it all the time.
Stockist? Is that a thing?
That's what they call it, a stockist. Instead of like a distributor or whatever, they call it a stockist.
Is that an Australian thing?
I guess that's a thing. You know, they have a lot of different terminology. So yeah, they call us, I'm a stockist.
A stockist. They're very literal about it.
Yeah, you are stocking the paint. You are a stockist. So I'll take it.
So it seems like everybody wanted to take your class here at the SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo. Are you coming back next year?
I'm going to reapply to teach next year. Yes, ma'am.
And how are you going to, what is your plan of attack in redoing a new class? Like, where are you going to grab your inspiration from?
You know, the inspiration kind of just comes from all around what I see and what my feedback from my students are. You know, in the past, I've had these hanging fish cakes and these photo booth cakes, and they're great, but I really like to hear what my students have to say, and if anyone else has suggestions for what they'd like to learn, you know, I'm always obviously thinking of other ideas.
So how important is that to get your students' feedback? What does that do for you as an instructor?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, to get feedback from your students, there's no way for you to grow as an instructor and as a cake artist in general if you don't have someone saying, hey, you know, your class was fantastic, but I felt this way. Or, you know, we loved your class. It was so great. We learned so much. We'll definitely use this in the future. You want to get a little bit of feedback from people to see what they thought and how you can improve. I do, at least.
As an instructor, you're still growing just as the students are, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You will always be learning in this industry. You can't ever stop learning. And, you know, like I said, every cake is better than the last. Every class is better than the last.
So you heard it here. If you have a suggestion for Holly for what class she should teach, get her at
SweetElizabethCakes.com. I guess that would be my email address. info@sweetelizabethcakes.com.
Fantastic. Thank you, Holly, so much for joining us here at the Cakers Chat Lounge. Promise me you'll come back.
I will. I'll be back.
Hold on to your spatulas. It's time for the Quick Mix Q&A. Your favorite color?
My favorite color is green.
Favorite song?
My favorite song is Something by Mark Broussard.
Name your favorite season.
My favorite season is fall.
What's your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert are chocolate chip cookies.
What's your least favorite dessert?
My least favorite dessert is like fawn.
Early bird or a night owl?
I am a night owl.
Coffee or tea?
I would like to have coffee.
And your zodiac sign is?
Taurus.
Name a cake tool you just can't live without.
A what?
A cake tool you just can't live without.
A cake tool I just can't live without is edible art paint.
Exactly how did you get into caking?
I got into caking because of Food Network.
If you weren't a caker, what would you be?
I would just be a caker.
What did your first cake look like?
My first cake was awful. I don't even remember the first cake I ever made. I'm sure it was awful. It probably was fine. It probably tasted delicious.
What do you want your legacy to be?
I want to be remembered for being an inspiration for other up-and-coming cakers.
And we're here with a winner. Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
Your name, please?
Holly Broussard.
Holly, can you please tell us what category you competed in today?
I competed in the Florida wildlife category.
And can you tell us where did you place today?
Third place.
Third place, congratulations. Can you please tell us a little bit about your piece?
So my piece was inspired by a coffee table that I saw done by a very famous taxidermist. It was just this really intricate piece with a lot of movement, and it was a bass jumping out of water, but the water was made out of glass. So as any cake artist does, the first thing I thought was that needs to be a cake. And that was actually 2 years ago that I decided that I was going to make this cake. So this competition has been kind of special to me because 2 years ago I started the piece and wasn't able to finish because my daughter had to go into the hospital before SoFlo. So I was able to finish it this time around and came out a winner.
That is incredible. So you weren't able to bring it here, but you were determined to bring it here. And how did you bring it here?
I purchased an airplane ticket for my piece, and so I got to push it around the airport in a wheelchair, and then it sat next to me on the airplane.
Are you serious? You literally bought a plane ticket for a piece. I think that's like the first.
Yeah. Well, it was either that or put it under the plane, and I didn't trust the people under the plane, so I was like, I'll just buy a ticket for it. And I had a companion pass through Southwest, and they were like, it can't be an inanimate object, it has to be a real person. So I buckled my box next to me, and we came to Miami.
Should have put on a sun hat and give it some lipstick.
I know. I should have drawn a face on it or something.
Oh my God, that's an amazing story. So it really tells you that so many people have not brought their piece this year.
Yeah, and I actually have never competed before. Obviously, there's like crazy competition at these
Is this your first competition, Holly?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, this is so special.
I know, it's a big deal. I never won anything ever. Well, I won Cake Wars that one time, but like this is all me, so it's good. It's real fun. So, but yeah, I mean, I was very hesitant to compete because there's all these great people, and also it's like an exhausting process. People think cake shows are just like, oh, you go and you have so much fun, which is true, but you also feel like you want to die at the end of the day because you're so tired. And you lose your voice randomly and you sound like a man, so.
That's all good and fun. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Are you competing again next year?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to answer that. I don't know.
We don't know. It might take her another 2 years.
It might.
So she can afford to buy a ticket for her piece.
That's right. Yeah, prize money goes to reimbursing myself for the ticket. So it's in break even. I'm happy with it.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hey, hope you've enjoyed this episode of Caker's Chat. If you have a question or two, don't let it stew. Comment below and let us know. Hey, and give us a hug with a thumbs up and a subscribe. Catch you on the next episode of Caker's Chat.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Natasha.
And we're the hosts of SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo. The 2018 show was amazing.
So grab your aprons, because 2019 is going to be fantastic.
Head over to SoFloCakeandCandyExpo.com to sign up for our newsletter.
And be the first to know about our classes and swag.
And don't forget about all of our special guests.
So grab your coffee and join me.
And me for Caker's Chat at SoFlo.
Did you know Melanie and Natasha are offering you a special savings? That's right. Caker's Chat subscribers get 15% off general admission. That's CAKERS. Tickets are on sale now. See you there.